Hi, welcome back to Shed Wars. This is not the Shed Wars garden, but I have something here that is probably the most frustrating thing for new gardeners who plan on doing in-ground gardening. This is my main garden. I have a sunny plot and a shady plot over there. I only have one bed like this, and as you can see, it's down to ground level and it's full of mostly grass is the weed. Now there's some turnip left here and violas, but there's grass poking up all over. And if I just pull up this grass, okay, but I've broken off the root. All of these grass pieces are connected by an underground runner. The reason it's so bad is because I've neglected cutting this outside edge. You see the grass is growing right into the log, and the runners go underneath the log and poke up in the bed. Every year for an in-ground garden, you need to do your edging. That's where your edging shovel comes in handy. And you cut this nice and deep. I'm cutting a little ways out from the bed because I want a bark mulch or wood chip border spaced out from the bed, and it will be a little easier for me to control this edge. Now that I cut down straight, I'm going to come back in the cut and raise it all up. By just putting my shovel down into the cut and pulling back. Now, down on my knees. You see right here is a piece of landscape fabric, which kind of would like to take out of it actually, but it is a little bit difficult to do that. I'm just going to throw that back there right now, and I'll pick it up later after I'm done the bed. Got to make sure you get all the roots out. There's a lot of people who use landscape fabric. That landscape fabric was down back when I started this garden, when I was just starting with having permanent beds and the permanent paths. I'm not impressed. I added over in the shady plot too, and I took the works up, but it was still relatively weed free here, so it's been left here. Now, as I said, if you just pull on those weeds, you're basically breaking off the green part and the bottom stays in there. Some people would like to use a tiller. With grass, that's a very bad thing. You cut up those runners and then you've got twice as many weeds. The other problem with a tiller is that you churn up the soil, you kill or drive away the earthworms and other animal life that's in the soil. You break up the soil aggregates, giving you a finer soil that will pack down when it rains, and you break up any fungi that's there. This method, you can loosen the soil and everything stays in place. You've just got it loosened so that you can get the weeds with their roots out of the soil. The other thing with tilling is that a lot of your weeds is going to be tilled under and they're just going to spring up again. This way, all the weeds will be left on top of the soil for you to just pick off. So in the first part of the bed, I have to go against the end log here. And then at this point you do walk on your bed. So this is a 10-inch tine. So you go back 6-8 inches from the last place that you've dug in your fork. In this case, 6-8 inches from the loosened soil. I've got a lump of grass right there under the corner that I'm going to have to dig a little more for. That's okay. So now you can see that the weeds are still up on top, even though I have the soil loosened. And I can get my hands in and get the root of the grasses out. For grasses, if you can find the main root that's running along, then you're much better off, because you can get a lot more of the material out at once. See, I can get all the roots out now, but without loosening the soil. And you see the worms, they didn't go anywhere. There's 2 worms right here, 3 worms. You see, here's one of the roots going across here. But now we got a cross root, so it's... But then you can follow them along and really do a better job of weeding the bed once you've found those main runners. It's going under the ground. You see? There's worms galore here. It's because I've been layering this with compost. I was watching a video earlier today, and he said that when you start a bed, you should till in the compost. I haven't tilled any compost into this soil, and a lot of organic matter a long ways down. As I said, if you mulch it, put on your 2 inches of compost per year, just on top, and then mulch it, the worms and beetles, they will drag that organic matter down into your soil. Tilling, I found to be a waste of time and energy. There, that bed is cleaned out. Got a pile of stuff from the bed. What I want to show you now, you see, this is what you're dealing with when it comes to grass. See, I dug my fingers in, pretty much in about 3 or 4 inches, and I pulled all of this stuff out. Now there are other weeds that run on similar type runners, whether it be runners and they're just going just under the soil, well, under the mulch, or they are actually truly rhizomes underneath the soil. And of course then you have your long taproot weeds, which you need to get that fork in and loosen up the soil to get those out. Now back to these. If you took a tiller to that, you would cut this up into 1,000 pieces, and every spot, you see where it's got some side roots coming out, that will send up a shoot at every one of those nodes, and you'd have grass galore. The plan is to put black beauty zucchini and corn in this bed. So it's going to be a few weeks before I actually plant it out. So any weeds that I may have missed, they should be showing before then. So that's it for Shed Wars today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and follow along. We'll see you in the next video.